Important ways we take our city in a new direction is by choosing new leadership for LMPD. That's why I'm thrilled to announce that starting on January 2nd, the interim chief of police of the Louisville Metropolitan Police Department will be Jackie Gwynn Villaroel. I chose Chief Gwynn Villaroel after a thorough vetting process and interviewing several candidates. I asked for input from my public safety transition team and other members of the Louisville community. Chief Gwynn Villaroel had a distinguished 24-year career with the Atlanta Police Department, where she rose through the ranks before joining LMPD in 2021 as deputy chief. She is also a pastor. She has earned the respect and admiration of people within LMPD and throughout our entire community. She is committed to transparency and to continuing the work of building trust with the community. Jackie believes in engaging with the community leaders across our entire city, having a strong community presence for LMPD, focusing on preventing crime, and reducing the amount of gun violence. Tragically, gun violence is something that has struck Jackie's family. In just the last 2 weeks, after Jackie and I had our first conversation, her nephew was murdered in Atlanta. He was a victim of gun violence. This is heartbreaking and infuriating. Our hearts go out to Jackie and her family, and this is one more reason that our community and every community has to come together to stop these tragedies from continuing to happen. Jackie's experience, resolve, and deep faith will continue to guide her as she leads LMPD and works with people and organizations throughout Louisville to help reduce gun violence. Our shared goal is to do all we can so that other families can avoid the pain that Jackie and her family and far too many other families are going through right now. Chief Gwynn Villaroel and I are both keenly aware that soon the United States Department of Justice will release its findings from its investigation into LMPD and Metro Louisville government. We are both committed to working with DOJ to continue the process of improvement and reform within LMPD. We will both be strong partners in this work. We also both support the hard-working women and men of LMPD. They risk their lives every day to keep us all safe and make everything else we do possible. Also, just to clarify, as previously announced, Chief Shields will remain Chief of Police until January 2nd. Following my inauguration, a search process will begin immediately to name a permanent Chief of Police. I believe the city will benefit from that process, and I will seek community input as part of that process. However, I want to be very clear. As interim chief, Chief Gwynn Villaroel will be fully empowered to lead LMPD. She has my complete support, and I look forward to working closely with her and all of her colleagues. As I got to know Chief Gwynn Villaroel during this process, what struck me most was her integrity, commitment to our community and the officers of LMPD, her strong work ethic, and her interest in collaboration. She will build a strong partnership with me, my administration, our officers, and our entire community to make Louisville a safer city than it is today. I'm thrilled to announce our next interim chief of police, Jackie Gwynn Villaroel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon to Mayor-elect Greenberg, to his transition team, to the community members, members of the media, and the men and women of LMPD. I'm honored for the opportunity to serve as interim chief for this department. My goal is to keep the department focused and to serve the city of Louisville with the highest standards. My top priorities is to remain focused on driving down this violent crime in which has touched my family. My other priority is to make sure that we rebuild the relationships here in the city of Louisville. And then the next priority is to make sure the reforms that we've already implemented, that we keep focused and we continue to put those in place. I'm here to serve. I'm here to make sure the department moves forward. And my goal is to dismantle the walls of distrust that has taken over this city. We will do this. We can do this. And the time is for us to do this now. So I thank you for the opportunity to serve this city in this new capacity on January the 2nd. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief Greenberg OL, and we're happy to take a few questions from you all here today if you have any.
Chief, when you say you want to dismantle the walls of distrust in this city, what do you mean by that?
Well, we know that certain members of the community feel that there is distrust within LMPD for us and with them and not having that strong relationship. There has been some trauma, as we all know, that has taken place within the city. And we want to rebuild those relationships. We need to rebuild those relationships. And guess what? We have to rebuild those relationships. So making sure that we are collaborating with the community, making sure that we're hearing them and that they're hearing us, and actually build this solid relationship that is needed within our city.
Will you be a candidate for the permanent position?
If this is the right fit for the administration, for LMPD, and for the community, then we will explore that option. But right now, my position right now is to serve in the capacity of the interim chief and to continue to move the department forward.
Craig, will you consider her for the permanent position?
Yes, I will. As we've spoken about, as she mentioned, if she thinks it's a good fit, if I think it's a good fit, if the city, she will then be considered during the search process. However, I think it's important, we've had this discussion, that the community is expecting a search process, and so that will happen.
Can you tell us about that search process with the community? How will you be seeking the community's input on a permanent chief?
Yeah, we'll have more details about that. That won't start until after I take office on January 2nd, which will be Chief Greenberg OL's first day as well. But we will have a process. We'll engage a search firm to lead us through that process, and we will have community listening sessions as part of that as well.
You're about a month out from the inauguration. What movement has there been on that front?
On which front?
Inauguration.
On the inauguration. We hope to have some fun announcements next week about what the inauguration plans will be. The inauguration is on January 2nd, and so stay tuned, but we'll be back in touch next week with those details.
What are your hopes, Craig, for how long it's going to take to get a permanent person into the LMPD chief role once you take office?
Well, we'll know more about that once we engage a search firm and have those discussions and lay out the schedule for what the entire search process looks like. But I want to be very clear that how short or long that takes, Interim Chief Greenberg OL is fully empowered to lead LMPD. She has my 100% complete support. I'm excited for her to continue working with people across this entire community, with our new administration, and with the officers throughout LMPD. So we will be well served during the search process, and we will continue to make progress on the goals that we share of reducing violent crime in Louisville.
Chief, in what ways will you ensure transparency with the department?
We're doing that now, and we're open and we're being transparent, but in anything that we do, we have to do better. And so with the DOJ coming and other things that we're implementing as far as reform, you will see that transparency. But one of the transparency goals is to make sure that we're actually meeting with the community more and actually having that engagement that is needed to have those conversations. Guess what? The tough conversations. In order for the community to feel that they have a space within our environment. And so that's what we're creating right now. And we have been creating right now. And also too, let me say this. I give respect to Chief Erica Shields. I am here today because she tapped me on the shoulders to come and work for her. I respect her as a leader. I respect her tenure in this law enforcement profession, and I respect what she has done for this department along the way. So I do want to give honor to her as the leader that she has been for me throughout my career and the leader that she has served here in this city.
Chief,
Chief, my condolences on your nephew. Has that emboldened you in any way in your job?
Well, I've always had the passion and the drive to make sure that I took care of families by doing my job and to empower others to make sure that we give them closure and to make sure that they never get into this space in which I'm in today. But now even more so, it has touched me personally, where now I'm truly, truly committed in making sure that the pain that I have experienced, that no other family has to go down this road. And so the things that I've already implemented, the drive and the push for investigators to do what they need to do and to do it well and to serve the communities here in Atlanta and here, that is going to continue to be my focus more than ever, because again, any life loss is too many. And so we can stop it. We should have the tools to do it. And so again, I am truly, if you would want to use that word emboldened, yes I am, because now no one should be able to feel this pain that I feel.
Chief, mentioning the homicide clearance rate from last year, you were saying you want investigators to be emboldened.
Yes.
Last year it was much lower than the national average. I think it's improving slightly.
Yes.
This year, how big of a focus is that for you, getting families and victims of gun violence some closure?
Yes, it's very important, because at the end of the day, the families want to have justice. And understand this, the investigators are speaking for the ones that can't speak anymore. And so by them doing their job and actually bringing those individuals to justice that have impacted the lives of so many, just not the immediate person or immediate family, it spreads throughout the whole community, then therefore we are doing everything we can to bring closure to that family so they can really, really celebrate the life that was taken from them viciously.
How do we improve that though? What are some of your plans?
The plans are to make sure that our investigators have every conceivable tools. If something else out there we need to get, then we need to have it funded. And I'm hoping that Mayor-elect will actually do that. I'm putting him on the spot right now, right? For funding, right? That he'll fund that, because again, what are the other tools that are out there that our investigators are able to use in order to do their job and to do it well and effectively? So that is a space that we need to be in. As you've heard, Chief Shields already spoke about the DNA lab that we had to get to outsource. That has helped tremendously, but how can we go a little bit further in that? What else is needed? Because the families are depending on us.
And one other thing that I would just like to add that we've had conversations about as well to address your question is on the issue of recruitment and retention. We right now are nearly 300 officers short. As we complete and have a full team, that will give us even more resources to continue to investigate and solve all of the violent crimes that are happening in the city. So that's part of our plan as well. Yes. And we've talked about really just renewing and strengthening the commitment that LMPD has already shown to try to work towards this goal. We're going to continue to strengthen that. One more question.
Are you guys going to be more open with the media than Chief Shields has been?
Well, all we can do is speak for ourselves here today, but I think we are going to plan to be very transparent with you. We thought it was very important to have a conversation, to take questions. We've had this conversation as well. We will continue to be transparent, and as issues come up, we will continue to keep that. That is very important. To me, the hallmarks for all of city government, not just policing, but all of city government, are transparency, and that leads to trust. And that's critical for our city, for our police, for our entire community.
Just one quick follow-up for both of you, please, Greg. If you would, Chief, address what you would say to the Inspector General who has made the comments that he hasn't been able to get officers to talk to him in his investigations, and what steps will you take to ensure that that communication happens?
Yeah, so in regards to that, we have been working and trying to meet some of those particular asks, but there has been some blocks that, again, we couldn't override. And so with that, again, I know that the ordinance is being looked at again, and then conversations are ongoing. And so I will just ask the Inspector General, again, allow those conversations to be had, and so that we all can come to the table and that we can actually have a mutual agreement that we all can respect and actually implement.
Yeah, we, as part of the transition process, we have spoken with LMPD, we've spoken with the administration, we've spoken with the Inspector General, and we've also spoken with Metro Council. And so we are actively working to address this so that there's clarity in the ordinances and that there's clarity within the organization so that there can be better flow of information than there currently is, and that's something we're going to address. Thank you all very much. We look forward to speaking again soon.
Thank you.